Hey, what's going on everybody? Dr. Sis here, and in today's public health briefing, I'm going to explain to you exactly why America is so sick overall and how you can literally be one of the top percent of the healthiest people in the country. All right, I'm doing this via story/analogy, and if you understand this and this makes sense to you and you just apply it, it's a game changer because this is the issue, okay? So I'm going to do this via like story analogy, all right? But first I'm going to ask you a question. Do you agree that we're mammals? Yes, like all humans are all mammals? Yes or yes? Because your only options are yes or yes. And would you agree that we're also animals? Because we are, right? So for like 99.999% of human existence, all of our ancestors used to live off the wild, right? We were hunter-gatherers and we survived in the wild, living off what the wild provided us, just like wild animals do today. And to this day, there are still hunter-gatherers in the world that live off the wild, and some of them have like barely been contacted by modern humans, all right? So let me ask you this. Let's say there was a pack of wolves living in the wild, right? Let's say there's a pack of about 100 wolves. And I'm gonna use wolves as an example for this story because wolves, like every dog you see, the wolf is a distant ancestor, like every dog. And they've been selectively bred over many, many years to have different shapes and sizes and looks, but they're all descendants of wolves, right? And there's a reason the wolf or the dog is a man's best friend is because we're so similar. We're pack animals like them. We're omnivores like them. We're very, very similar in a lot of ways. But let's say you had a pack of wolves in the wild. Say the pack was 100 wolves. Strong, fit, you know, very vibrant wolves like you would see the wolves in northern Wisconsin or even down this way right now. All right, now let's say you took all of those wolves, the whole pack, and you brought them into captivity. And you brought them into captivity where they rarely had to exercise or work to get food at all. And the food you gave them was different. You started giving them American food, people food, right? People food is nonsense, by the way. But let's say we started giving them people food. For breakfast, the wolves got pancakes and waffles and muffins and juice and coffee, right? And then for lunch, a soda, a bag of chips. And then for supper, pizza, crackers, pasta, had a few beers. They were allowed to smoke cigarettes. You're thinking like, dude, come on, like wolves smoke, just bear with me, right? And let's do that day after day after day. They rarely got any exercise. They rarely got meat or any of the foods that they're designed to eat, right? It was all processed foods. Instead of getting bowls of water, they have bowls of soda and juice, right? And let's say we did that for months and months and months, and those wolves started to breed and have offspring. And the puppies, right? They'd have a litter of puppies. And instead of giving the puppies milk from the mom, we put them on formula or cow's milk, right? And we start them off with rice cereal, right? You maybe think, well, wolves, you know, rice cereal is not meant for wolves. Exactly. It's not meant for people either. But we start them off with rice cereal, and then we bring the kids up. We start giving the kids juice, and we put soda in the baby wolves' sippy cups. And then these pups, as they're growing, they get the same foods we give our kids, right? We give them waffles and muffins and cookies and crackers and animal crackers and sodas, and they don't get very much exercise. And we give them like little screens to watch to keep them entertained so they don't bother mom and dad wolf, or they just sit and watch the screens. And then those puppies are raised completely, no experience in the wild. This is sedentary wolf living, getting American people food. And then those puppies became adults and started having more puppies, right? Do you think the original wolves would be sicker or healthier after a few months of that lifestyle, right? And then those sick wolves that have offspring, do you think the offspring of those sick wolves would be sicker or healthier than wild ones? And then those sick puppies grow up eating the same Americanized foods, right? And then those puppies have puppies, rinse and repeat and so on. So over time, can you see how the wolves would get sicker and fatter and weaker, and their teeth would be rotten, and they'd start having crooked, jagged teeth? And by the way, if you look at history books, before modern processed foods, like crooked teeth and cavities didn't exist, even though there was no such thing as toothbrushing and dentists. But these wolves, over time, generation after generation, kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Can you see how that would happen? Can you see if you took a beautiful, strong pack of wild wolves from nature, brought them into captivity, and fed them the foods we feed our kids on a regular basis, and let them grow up on that and have offspring, generation after generation, we get sicker and sicker and weaker and weaker? Would you blame that on genetics? Is that a genetic problem? Would you say all these wolves, after many generations of poor lifestyle, have bad genes, and the solution is they just need medications? right? The sick, depressed wolves, they just need more medications or more vaccines, more shots. It's insane, right? It's like, no, of course not. What do they need? They need to lead a lifestyle closer to what they did in nature, because that is what kept them healthy, strong, and vibrant. That is exactly the problem with our health in America. Exactly the problem, right? There are over 13,000 approved medications on the market. We get more shots than ever. There's more hospitals than ever, more doctors than ever, more anything than ever, and we're sicker than ever. Imagine if people raised dogs that way, right? There would be a freaking uproar. Imagine if someone had a whole litter of puppies and just gave them nothing but pancakes and waffles and crackers and muffins and sodas and juices and cookies and stuff, the stuff we typically give kids on a regular basis, right? They'd be freaking out. But back to the wolves, right? If you had generation after generation after generation of poor lifestyles, you get these epigenetic changes, right? Where your genes just start expressing sickness. And the solution isn't to try and mask all the symptoms and all the issues that start happening to the wolves with medications and to suppress the symptoms. It's to get back to the lifestyle that kept them healthy in the first place. Now, some dum-dum is thinking, well, yeah, we're humans, we're gonna go back to hunter-gatherer lifestyles. And no, of course not, right? We're gonna combine both. You know, I love modern living, right? I love my air conditioning, I love my heat, I love sitting in the house by a fire, right? I love the things, but at the same time, I don't eat the processed junk foods that would make a dog sick and kill it, because it's the same things that make a kid sick and kill it. You're supposed to eat, if you just eat the way a human is designed to eat, everything gets better, right? The problem isn't a lack of medications and a lack of hospitals and a lack of what we think it is. And by the way, at a cost of an absolute fortune, right? The problem is we live such lifestyles that are so incongruent with what a human needs to be healthy that we break down and we're sicker than hell. I mean, right now it's like 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy, and the standards for metabolically healthy aren't even that high. A 40-inch waist for dudes, like, that's not that hard to do. It's terrible, and you hear nothing about it. But once you understand that humans are animals, because we are, right? And like any other animal, to get an animal in captivity as healthy as possible, like you go to a zoo, what do they try to do for each animal to keep it as healthy as possible? Mimic its wild environment as much as humanly possible, all right? So if humans are living in the wild, we don't go around eating processed seed oils. It's terrible for us, right? Because it just doesn't exist. You don't go around collecting grass seeds, aka wheat, corn, right, and eat that on a regular basis. You don't go out and chemically process rapeseed or canola oil and eat that. We don't have processed grains in the wild. We would never eat that stuff. And not only is it terrible for the wolves, it's terrible for us, right? So if you eliminate that as much as humanly possible, you get healthier, you feel better, you look better, you have more energy, and your kids benefit as well, and your kids' kids benefit. One thing people don't realize and never talk about is what you eat, your exercise, how you live can change the genetics of your kids and your grandkids in the future. Like, that's how important your choices are. Your choices are affecting the lives of your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids in the future. And that includes guys. Guys that are overweight and unfit, right, negatively affect genetic expression for their kids and grandkids. It's that important, right? So if you understand that humans are animals because we are, right, and to take any animal and bring them into captivity and to feed them the way we feed ourselves and to lock them into offices all day and get next to no exercise is devastating. And there's no drug, no surgery, no vaccines that are going to override those poor health choices. It just can't happen, right? So if you live like a wild human it's such a great time to be alive, right? We can live with so many comforts, but we can also choose to eat quality meats. We can choose to eat fruits and vegetables. As if you're walking through the woods, I'm different than damn near any other doctor anywhere, because I spend so much time outdoors. Like, most of these guys are like big city people, but like I spend so much time in nature. It's like, man, this is how you live, right? You're eating quality meats and quality fats all the time, like all the time. You would never ever get any processed oils in nature. Never eat it. What do wolves drink? What does every animal drink all the time? Water. What else do they drink? Water, right? What do I drink? Water. Pretty much it, right? I might have a little nut milk once in a while. But I eat meats on a regular basis, like good quality meats with the fat. The fat is so important. I eat fruits and vegetables. Like if you're in the nature, like there's all the time, damn near all the time, there's like a certain type of fruit that's in season. Obviously in the winter there's not. Where is there a lot of animals to eat, right? You're not walking around collecting grass seeds and eating grains ever. I never eat any grains, okay? So it's meats, fruits and vegetables. I drink water. Nuts are amazing. If you come across eggs, you're gonna freaking eat them because it's like one of the most nutrient-dense, amazing foods on the planet. Think about this. The government used to tell us that eggs were bad. In an egg is all the ingredients to make a chicken, right? So inside this egg, if it's fertilized, after a few weeks, out comes a bird. The brain, the heart, the blood vessels, the skin, like everything. That's some good ingredients. So yes, that is very, very good for you. And that is what gets you healthier. There is no way we can live. The reason why people are so obese and so sick and so weak and so unhealthy is because we live so incongruently with the way humans are meant to live, okay? So that is my, I think about it all the time, right? And the other thing too is it's really important is just like wolves are pack animals, so are humans, right? We're meant to be in a tribe. We're meant to be part of a community. That's why I designed Eupraxia, my fitness centers. I'm so huge on group, right? Because you just excel as a group. You work harder, you work better, it's more fun. You feel like you're part of something, right? One of the big problems is is like so many people they're like isolated. They're not like part of something. Like we're meant to be part of something. If you took a pack of wolves out of the wild and isolated them, right? Man, they would deteriorate so fast. And then if you isolate them and then feed them the way we feed ourselves, it would be awful, okay? So hopefully this resonates with you and hopefully you just understand how important lifestyle is. See, one of the biggest cons in medical history and misunderstanding is that we live a terrible lifestyle, we make terrible choices, our choices make us sick, we break down, we go in to go ask for help, and they say, oh, it must be genetic, here, take these pills. And then after that, it's like, here, you need more pills. Here, you need more pills. Oh, no, your kids need to start them on pills even earlier, which is why on average, every adult in America gets like 12 prescriptions per year, which is mind-blowing, right? And it's our choices that over time cause a change in our genetic expression, right? That causes the issues. I mean, it's such an easy analogy, right? So like right now, pretty strong, muscular dude. Pretty lean dude. If I quit exercising, right, just quit completely and got fast food every day, which a lot of people do, would I lose my muscles and get weaker and feel sicker and more depressed and have less motivation? 100%. Is that a genetic issue that I need medications for? 100% no. Is it my choices causing me to have these symptoms and feel worse? Absolutely. And my choices that I make can affect it can program the genes of my offspring and my offspring's offspring in the future. I mean, that's how important this stuff is. And for some reason, nobody talks about it, nobody explains it. So hopefully this resonates with you, and hopefully you decide to, make better choices, and very quickly you'll become one of like top 1% healthiest, best feeling people in America.